Have you ever wondered if that bird perched outside your window actually remembers you? It might sound unbelievable, but some birds possess memory skills so sharp that they can recall human faces for years. Scientists studying these creatures have discovered astonishing cognitive abilities that rival even some mammals. This raises a fascinating question. Do birds merely survive through instinct? Or do they carry grudges, friendships, and recognition the way humans do? The truth could change the way you see the birds around you forever. And here's where it gets even more intriguing some. Birds don't just remember faces, they remember how you treated them. Picture a crow watching you as you walk by, its piercing black eyes locked on you. If you once fed it, it won't just recognize you tomorrow. It could remember your face for the next 5 years. Even more shocking, if you harmed it or even just threatened it, that memory could last just as long. Studies reveal that birds like crows and ravens can store these memories with incredible accuracy. But the twist? They also share this information with other birds, passing warnings or approvals like a neighborhood watch. Suddenly, one bad encounter with a single bird could make you the villain in the eyes of an entire flock. Now imagine walking into a park where a murder of crows swoops overhead. You think it's coincidence, but is it really? These birds might be singling you out because they know exactly who you are. What's more, experiments using masks have proven this beyond doubt. Scientists wore masks while capturing crows, and years later, even when the same masks were worn by strangers, the birds still attacked or avoided them. It's as if crows had built a mental database of friend and foe. And unlike most animals that forget quickly, their database doesn't easily expire. But how do they actually do this? Their brains, though tiny compared to ours, are structured in ways that allow for complex memory and recognition. Crows and ravens, for example, have a brain-to-body ratio similar to great apes. This means their intelligence and capacity for remembering events and faces are far more advanced than we used to believe. Each time they see a human face, they can imprint it in their memory and recall it when needed. This is why you might notice a crow acting differently around you than around others. It's not random, it's personal. Consider pigeons, too. Often dismissed as rats with wings, pigeons have been shown in studies to recognize over 100 individual human faces. Even more surprising, they don't forget them over long stretches of time. In crowded cities where thousands of people pass by, pigeons can still pick out familiar humans, whether those people were kind or hostile to them. This means the same pigeon you ignored last year might still know you now. It's not just recognition, it's selective memory with consequences that can last for years. Parrots, famous for their mimicry, also show strong recognition abilities. These birds can bond so deeply with their human caretakers that they'll remember them even after years of separation. Imagine a parrot seeing its former owner after a decade. It doesn't hesitate. It greets them like no time has passed. This level of recognition is emotional as well as cognitive, showing us that bird memory isn't just about survival, but about attachment and social connection. Could it be that birds feel more than we think? But here's where the tension builds. What does this mean for us? If birds can remember human faces for years, does this make every interaction with them more important than we realize? Every time you feed a crow or chase a pigeon, you're leaving a mark, a memory that could last for years. And because birds like crows communicate with one another, your reputation could spread beyond a single encounter. You might unknowingly become either the hero or the villain of their world, remembered long after you've forgotten the moment. Even more unsettling is how birds use this ability to teach their young. Imagine a crow watching you mistreat one of its kind. That crow might not only remember you, but also pass the warning to its offspring. Now, generations of crows could associate your face with danger, ensuring that your bad reputation lives on. It's almost like birds have their own form of oral tradition, except it's built on memory and recognition. This level of intelligence reveals an entire hidden society we barely understand. Scientists believe this ability developed for survival. Birds that could remember friend from foe had better chances of thriving in dangerous environments. Over time, evolution favored those who could recall human interactions, leading to the highly intelligent species we see today. But what makes it incredible is how precise their memory is. It's not just safe or danger, it's you. They can distinguish between you and another person, even if you're dressed the same. That level of detail is staggering. Think about the implications for the natural world. If birds can remember human kindness, does that mean they can form lasting bonds with us? In some cases, yes. There are countless stories of crows bringing gifts, shiny objects, bits of jewelry, or scraps to people who regularly fed them. These aren't random behaviors. They're deliberate acts of acknowledgement, proof that birds remember not only faces, but also the actions tied to those faces. It's their way of saying, "We know who you are and we haven't forgotten." On the other side, the darker truth is just as powerful. Birds also hold grudges. In the wild, if a person once trapped or harmed a bird, that memory doesn't fade away easily. Some crows have been documented dive bombing the same individuals years after an incident. Even stranger, unrelated crows who weren't present during the initial event sometimes join in, proving that the story was shared among them. This suggests not just memory, but culture knowledge being passed down and spread within their community. But what makes this all possible? The avian brain, despite being small, is densely packed with neurons. In fact, songbirds and parrots have more neurons in their forebrains than many primates. This dense neural wiring gives them the capacity for complex tasks, from using tools to remembering faces. While their brains look different from ours, functionally, they can achieve many of the same outcomes. It's a reminder that intelligence doesn't always require a big brain sometimes. It just requires the right connections. And the science is still unfolding. Researchers are only scratching the surface of avian intelligence. Some studies suggest that birds might remember faces for up to a decade, though the exact limits are still unknown. The more we study them, the more we realize that we've underestimated these creatures. If birds can remember us for years, might they also be capable of remembering events, places, and even forming opinions about humans? The evidence seems to suggest yes. This makes every encounter with a bird more meaningful. That sparrow in your backyard, that pigeon on your street corner, or that crow eyeing you from a lamppost, they could all be logging away memories of you. They're not just passive observers, they're active participants, deciding whether you're a friend or foe. The world of birds is not as distant from ours as we once thought. Instead, it's intertwined with us in ways most people never even consider. But here's the question that lingers. If birds remember us for years, what do they think of us? Are we allies, offering food and safety? Or are we predators to be avoided? Every action we take builds that perception. This means humans aren't just shaping the environment birds live in. We're shaping their memories, their choices, and even their cultural stories. We're part of their world whether we want to be or not. Imagine what this could mean for conservation. If birds remember kindness, then creating positive human-bird interactions could improve how they coexist with us. In cities, this could mean fewer conflicts with pigeons or gulls. In the wild, it could mean better cooperation with species like crows or parrots. Memory isn't just a survival tool for birds, it's also a bridge that could connect us more closely with them. The way we use that bridge could determine how these species thrive in a human-dominated world. But the tension deepens when we realize how much power this gives us. If birds remember kindness, they also remember cruelty. Every negative encounter could shape not only their behavior, but the behavior of their entire flock. This puts responsibility in our hands. Do we treat them with respect, or do we dismiss them as insignificant? Either choice will be remembered, possibly for years, maybe even for generations. And here's the most fascinating part. Some scientists believe this memory ability shows that birds have a sense of self, an awareness of the world and their place in it. Recognizing individual humans requires more than memory, it requires perception, judgment, and decision-making. It does mean that birds are conscious in ways closer to humans than we've ever imagined. The possibility challenges everything we thought we knew about the line between humans and animals. Next time you see a bird staring at you, ask yourself, is it just curious, or is it remembering? Has it seen you before, and is it logging this very moment into a memory that could last for years? The eyes of a bird might hold more intelligence and recognition than most of us give credit for. And if that's true, then every feathered creature we encounter carries a story, a history, and a memory of us. So, can birds really remember people for years? The evidence is overwhelming. Yes, they can. Crows, pigeons, parrots, and many others have proven it again and again. They remember faces, they remember kindness, they remember cruelty, and they share that knowledge with their own kind. In their world, we are not invisible strangers, we are remembered individuals. etched into their memories for years to come. The next time you pass a bird, know this: it may never forget you, even if you forget it.